it was a whistle-stop tour, obviously, of all things to do with video and stuff like that. What were some of the main themes you picked up, Mike?
I think what was really interesting that I took away was the fact that you can just start doing it, and you don't. A lot of people think you need to spend thousands of pounds to get the best cameras and things, but one of the real angles that Mark went from is the fact that all you need is a smartphone and a few sort of attachments to go with it, and you can start doing professional quality videos right away, basically.
Yeah, that's kind of what we're doing here. This is on my smartphone. We've got some lapel mics. If I just kind of zoom in down here, this is plugged into my smartphone. We've got one on mic as well, which you probably can't see all that well because of the light. Because here it's really noisy, and we know that. And hopefully you can hear us absolutely fine, and you can tell us in the comments if you can't. And also, what I've got is a £3 kind of. It's not even a selfie stick. It's a tripod off of eBay that I'm holding, so that I can hold this a little bit away from me, and hopefully it's not too juddery. It is a bit. It's live. It's all very low tech. But it's a way to get video content to you, and a way to kind of you interact with us whilst we're here. So to definitely kind of get going is the first instance. Use your smartphone. Dr. Mark Davis of C Learning says, the best camera is the one that you've got, and the one that you've got in your pocket usually, which is what we've got here. So Mike, what were some of the things about the actual kit? If you are going to go with your smartphone and you want to start filming maybe for your company or internally in your organisation, what were some of the bits of kit that Mark was suggesting?
I think some of the main things was definitely a good microphone, exactly what Joe has just gone over. We're using the lapel mics here, and I think that's one of the things that the audio quality is one of the most important things you need. And I think what Mark and some of his assistants were going over was the fact that having a good quality mic, and I think they were saying Rode mics, RODE, was some of the best quality at a middle range sort of equipment that you can get. And I think what another thing I've really taken away is the fact that you can get for not a lot of money some really good accessories to then really make a difference to your recording, and I think that was a really valuable point to come away from with what he said today.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've actually got quite a reasonably expensive camera. So what is your camera that you use at home?
I've got a Canon 70D, which is a DSLR, which is about £800 when I got it, and now I'm starting to regret maybe I should have just used my smartphone. But it is interesting. I think this is the thing, you can get carried away with videoing, but it is a really interesting thing, and especially here at the L&D show, so many people are going on about video, short videos, videos on your website and learning videos. So I think this is something to come away from, and it's the point that you can do it with not a lot of expense. We're not in the days where you needed to outsource this to another company and pay £10,000 to get a whole host of videos. You can, with limited budget, you can still get professional looking videos for your needs, and you can keep it in-house as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, when we think about your kit, okay, you've got an £800 camera which you bought for a particular hobby that you kind of work on, and it wasn't bought to do professional work, so you've got an expensive camera for that. But the point about the accessories are, you've spent less than £150 on a mic, a light, and a gimbal, a kind of a handheld thing, so that you don't get this horrible shakiness that I'm doing.
Exactly, yeah. And I think this is some of the amazing things of the age we're in, especially with YouTube and things. These hobbies can actually go from hobbies to semi-professional, and then with the equipment and manufacturing behind it, you can really get good quality things for not a lot.
So I think something that we've talked about in the past is that you've used things like your video camera for your hobby, but then how are you translating that now into your work? What is it that, tell us some nuggets of what you've learned that you're thinking, actually now I'm using that professionally because I just played with YouTube basically.
Yeah, certainly. I think that's really interesting, of just using, and I've done a lot of YouTube videos of tutorials like self-learning to try and improve my video editing and things like that, and then I'm using that now doing interviews here at the CIPD show, and then I'm going to bring that into the post-editing situation, and that's just things that I've learned from my hobby, messing around with YouTube videos, which I'm going to use going forward.
Yeah, and I think that's really important. Lots of people get a bad rap or get kind of told off almost, or discouraged by doing their hobby, when actually there's so many things to do with your hobbies that you can bring into your professional life.